Hello kids, welcome to this new class. Today we are going to learn how to use how many and how much for making questions about things. Okay, we use how many and how much when we want to know the quantity or the amount or number of something. We ask questions starting with how much and how many. But before using how many and how much, we should know what are countable and uncountable nouns. This is very important. Okay, now, countable nouns are the things that we can count using numbers. They have a singular and a plural form. Now, an example of a countable noun is this. A book. This is the singular form. It's just one book, a book. But in the plural form, we can say 3 books. 3 books. And we're counting the books with a number, and the number is 3. So this is a countable noun. It's a thing that we can count with numbers. Now, the uncountable nouns are the things that we cannot count with numbers, like liquids, powders, gases, etc. And they usually do not have a plural form, just singular form. For example, the tea, sugar, water, and beauty are uncountable nouns because they just have a singular form. We can't say a tea, a water, or a beauty. That's incorrect. Okay, now that we know what are countable and uncountable nouns, we are going to learn how to use how much and how many. Okay, first, how much. We use how much to talk about quantity. How much is used with uncountable nouns. Okay, guys? So we use how much plus an uncountable noun. And here we have an example of a sentence. How much time do we have to finish the test? Look, we use how much and an uncountable noun that is time. Look that we can't say 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. No, that's incorrect. We can just say time. That's why it's an uncountable noun. Okay, here we have 5 examples of sentences of questions using how much and uncountable nouns. How much money did you spend? How much sugar does she like in her coffee? How much paper do I need? How much milk is in the fridge? How much traffic was there on the way to work? Look that the nouns are uncountable nouns because you can't say 1 money, 2 monies, 3 monies. No, you just can say money in a singular form. Sugar, it's a powder. The milk It's a liquid. That's why they are uncountable nouns. Now, how much? In this case, we're going to use how much to talk about the price. Okay, so how much can also be used when we want to know the price of something. In this case, we can use how much with countable nouns, with both singular and plural nouns. Okay, this is the only case when we can use how much with countable nouns. How much is that painting? We're talking about this painting. It's $200,000. How much are those shoes? We're talking about these red shoes. They are $120. As we can see, we use how much and then the verb to be. How much is that painting? How much are those shoes? And this is the way how we use how much for asking about price. We have 4 examples here for asking about the price of something. How much did your jacket cost? Here we are making a question in past tense. Remember the use of did. How much is the dress on display in the window? How much will it cost me? How much does it cost? Now, how many? How many is used when we want to know the number of the amount of something, and it is only used with plural countable nouns. Remember that the countable nouns are the things that we can count with numbers. For example, how many days are there in January? Look, that days is a countable noun because we can count days with numbers. We can say 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 10 days, 20 days. And it has a plural form, that is days with an S in the end. Now, days is the plural form, the plural noun for the word day. Here we have 5 examples of questions made with how many and countable nouns. How many people work in your company? People is the plural noun for person. How many cousins do you have? Cousins is the plural form for cousin. How many books did you buy? Books is the plural noun for book. How many countries are there in the world? Countries is the plural noun for country. And how many students are in the class right now? Now we're going to talk about omitting the noun. Often the noun is omitted in the question. When it is obvious, what we are talking about. When we know what we are talking about, or when we are seeing or watching, what are we talking about? For example, if we're at the supermarket or at the grocery store and we say, I would like to buy some cheese, and the cashier says, how much would you like? Look, we don't say cheese again. We don't repeat cheese. We just say, how much would you like? Instead saying, how much cheese would you like? We don't repeat the word cheese. So we just say, how much would you like? Because we know that we're talking about cheese. The noun cheese is not necessary after how much, since we already know we're talking about cheese. We avoid repeating the noun because it sounds repetitive. Here we have more examples for you to understand how omitting the noun works. I need some coins. How many do you need? We don't repeat the word coins because we already know that we are talking about coins. Or I need some sugar. How much do you need? Look, here we use how many because we're talking about coins, and coins is a countable noun. And here we have to use how much because we're talking about sugar. And sugar is an uncountable noun because it's a powder. It's something that you cannot count with numbers.